Dude, they're here. I don't know what else to say.
What?
Acercalo poco a poco, guau.
Where are the clouds?
Before starting, if you enjoy this UFO compilation video, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I would be truly grateful to have you here.
The light that spread across the Arizona sky. January 2026, a well-known athlete, a group of friends, a clear night over Arizona, and then something none of them had words for. In January 2026, Caden McDonald posted a video that spread across the internet within hours. The group had been outside when they noticed something in the sky that stopped every conversation cold. A single, impossibly small point of light projecting an enormous spread of illumination outward across the darkness, wide and intense, like a beacon with no logical source. It wasn't moving, not a degree, not a drift. Whatever was producing that light had chosen a position in the sky and was holding it with absolute precision. The people filming cycled through confusion, then disbelief, then something closer to awe. One of them simply said, "They're here." Not every sighting comes with dramatic footage of structured craft. Sometimes the most unsettling evidence is the simplest, a pinpoint of light, completely still, flooding the sky with something it has no business producing. Arizona that night offered no rational explanation, and none has emerged since. The golden line above the ocean, Chile, early 2026. Off the coast of Chile, hovering just above the open water, a straight line of gold. Early 2026. A witness standing near the ocean captured something that defied every familiar category. A perfectly linear object, glowing a warm amber gold along its entire length, suspended just meters above the surface of the sea. No movement, no sound recorded. No vessel visible anywhere nearby that could account for it. The source confirmed the object was close enough that any conventional explanation would have left additional evidence. A boat would have been visible, a buoy would have drifted, a flare would have descended. This did none of those things. It simply hovered, parallel to the water, pulsing with that same steady golden light from end to end. Rod-shaped or cylindrical objects represent one of the less discussed categories in UFO documentation. They appear without warning, hold position, and leave without explanation. This one, above the Pacific, fits every element of that pattern and adds one more: proximity. Whatever it was close enough to touch the reflection in the water below it. The shadow with no source, Nevada, near Area 51. October 2025. She was driving past Area 51 when she saw the shadow. October 2025, Nevada. A woman filming from a moving vehicle looked toward the mountain range alongside the road and noticed something that made no physical sense. An enormous shadow was stretched across the mountainside, dark, defined, and covering more than 40% of the visible surface. She looked up, nothing there. No cloud formation, no aircraft, no object of any kind visible in the sky above the shadow's position. And yet the shadow existed, precisely shaped, unmoving, cast by something that the eye could not locate. For a shadow of that scale to exist, whatever was producing it would have to be massive. The UFO community's immediate response was stealth mode, an object operating in a configuration that absorbs or bends light, leaving only its gravitational or geometric effect on the environment below. It is not a new theory, but this may be one of the clearest visual examples of it on record. You can hear the disbelief in the woman's voice as she films. She keeps asking where the clouds are. There are no clouds. The disk above the neighborhood, Columbia, 2010. Some footage ages badly. This one has only gotten harder to dismiss. Columbia, 2010. A couple spotted something hovering at unusually low altitude directly above a residential neighborhood, close enough to the rooftops that the proximity itself felt deliberate, as though whatever it was had chosen that specific location for a specific reason. The object was disc-shaped, classic in its silhouette, blinking and emitting light in a pattern that suggested something active and powered rather than passive or drifting. And yet its overall presence, the way it sat in the air above those ordinary homes, carried in quality that no conventional aircraft has ever quite replicated. 15 years later, no one has conclusively debunked it. The footage remains raw, unsteady, and entirely consistent with something filmed in genuine surprise. Whatever hovered above that Colombian neighborhood that day, the residents below it had no idea it was there. The diamond that dropped, something location unknown. We have seen UFOs release objects before, but never quite this clearly. A hiker captured footage of a cylindrical object descending from a cliff, but the cylinder was not falling on its own. Above it, clearly visible in the frame, a diamond-shaped craft had just released it and was already moving away. The drop was deliberate, the departure was immediate. Whatever transaction had just taken place, it was completed in seconds. The geometry of the diamond craft is notable, a shape that appears in multiple high-quality sightings across different continents and different decades, always carrying the same sense of deliberate, engineered precision. And the cylindrical object it released raises its own question. Was that a probe, a device, a second craft of a different class? One craft dropping another implies not just technology, it implies mission. Something was being deployed. And the hiker with the camera was the only witness. The orbs that kept coming back. Midwest, USA, February 2026. This one is different from a single sighting. This one kept happening. February 2026. Somewhere in the American Midwest, a man had been noticing strange activity near his property for several nights. So he set up a camera and let it run. What it captured over multiple nights is among the most behaviorally complex orb footage on record. Bright white orbs appeared on his land, sometimes one, sometimes three, moving across the property in patterns that suggested systematic coverage rather than random drift. The same areas revisited, the same routes repeated. When the orbs approached the camera directly, the footage glitched a detail that independent AI analysis confirmed was not the result of digital manipulation. This is not a one-time encounter. Whatever these orbs represent, probe, phenomenon, or something without a name, yet they had a reason to return. They were looking for something, or monitoring something, on land that belonged to one man, in a stretch of Midwest countryside that had apparently attracted attention from something that operates beyond the boundaries of what we publicly acknowledge exists. The ancient structure that flew Mount Elbert, Colorado, 2019. Some objects in the sky look like machines. This one looked like a ruin. A hiker on Mount Elbert in Colorado captured footage in 2019 of an object that emerged from beyond the tree line, ascended to altitude, and then moved forward with unmistakable intent. But what made this sighting genuinely difficult to process was not its behavior, it was its appearance. It did not look like an aircraft. It looked like architecture. Solid, dense, structured in a way that evoked ancient stonework rather than aerospace engineering. Beneath it, something resembling a propulsion system was visibly operating, but the body above that system looked less like a vehicle and more like a monument that had decided to leave the ground. The parallel is one that serious researchers have raised before. Certain ancient structures, pyramids, megaliths, precisely engineered ruins, share geometric properties with craft that have been documented in modern sightings. Whether that is a coincidence, inheritance, or something stranger is a question that footage like this refuses to let go of. Something flew over Mount Elbert in 2019 that looked like it had been built a very long time ago, and whatever it was still working.